Hi, Mr. Ferstl. How are you doing today?
I'm not doing that great.
Not too hot? What?
No.
Why is that?
Well, this appointment's a little bit later than I want it to be. I have to get back to school pretty quick. I have a test I need to take that I have to. There's nothing about it. And then my shoulder hurts too. So that it just sucks.
Right. Well, I'm extremely sorry for pushing your appointment back so late. Like, I know it's going past the time of when you were wanting to start. But just to give you an idea of kind of what was going on here, previous patient had some situations that we had to take care of, and so it took a little longer than I was hoping for. But so I'm extremely sorry for that. But for your test and stuff, what time is your test at? In just a little bit?
Well, this appointment I think was supposed to end at 1:15 in my test. I have to be back to school by 1:30.
Okay, so it might be a little late. I can write you a doctor's note for you. That way you can give it to your teacher. So then hopefully they can understand and maybe push your test up, maybe let you take it a different day or something like that. Would that be okay if I try that?
Yeah, I think that'll work.
Okay, and I'll try to keep this moving so you kind of get in and out as quickly as possible, so it doesn't have to come to that.
Okay.
But if needed, we can try that. Okay. And then my name is Stephanie, by the way. I'm going to be your student physical therapist, just for your own reference too.
Okay.
All right. So it's my understanding that you came in with some right shoulder pain today, right?
Yep, my right shoulder hurts pretty bad.
Okay. Why don't you tell me about how this occurred?
Well, a couple of months ago, I was snowboarding with my friends, and a skier cut me off, and I ended up wiping out, and I went to catch myself, and I hurt my shoulder just doing that.
Okay.
And so it's just been bothering me ever since, and it hasn't really gotten any better, and I don't know if it will.
Okay. Why don't you tell me a little bit about how you landed, on your arm?
Well, sort of on the side, and I was going down the hill, and I landed on my one side, and it felt like my arm just jammed up into my shoulder.
Okay.
And then ever since then, it was a little bit sore. It hurt at first, and then it was a little bit sore the day after. And I thought it would just go away, but it never did, and it kind of got worse.
Okay. So it's my understanding that your arm here just kind of really went into all these joints and everything up here, and it's been hurting.
Yeah.
After that. Okay. Have you seen any other physician for this?
No, I haven't.
No. Okay. So no X-rays or anything like that either.
No, I thought it would just end up getting better, but it really hasn't. So I just decided, or my mom decided, that we should come in and get it checked out.
Right. So that's probably why you waited 2 months or so after this to get it checked out. Okay. Sounds good. And are you taking any medications for the pain, like Tylenol or ibuprofen, anything like that?
At first I was, because the pain was worse before. Maybe if I'm doing a lot of activities, I will, but for the most part, I try to just not, just because I don't really like taking pills.
Okay. Sounds good. So you're just kind of dealing with it as it comes.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. And then for your daily life, is the pain in your shoulder, preventing you from doing any activities that you like to do?
Yeah, I really wanted to play tennis this year, and I want to get back to it because I just like playing tennis in general, and I like to spend the time with my friends, but I can't play tennis.
Okay. So, from what I hear you say, is really decreasing in your social life as of right now, because all your friends are playing sports, and if you can't play the sport with them, there's not much you can do then after that.
Yeah, it is, because I'm in school all day, and that's stressful in of itself, and to get good grades, I really want to get into college. And then after school, all my friends go play sports, tennis that I used to, and I just go home because I can't play. I don't get to hang out with them as much, and they haven't invited me to parties and everything like that. It sucks.
Well, I'm extremely sorry to hear that. But so it sounded like it's kind of stressful right now in your life, with school and everything. Yeah, I know how that all goes. My life right now is kind of a little stressful too. New baby, husband's away. So I understand where you're coming from, but there is hope that we can this light at the end of the tunnel that we can see. So we're gonna figure something out for you.
I sure hope so. It's just there's just all these things, and I need to get back to my test because I need to do well. Because, like I said, I really want to get into college, and my grade is not the best in this class right now. And if it gets any lower, I might not be able to get the grades that I need to be in school.
Right. And what year in school are you?
I'm a senior this year.
Senior. Okay. Sounds good. Well, try to figure something out. And what are your goals then for your physical therapy sessions for your shoulder? What is your total outcome to get? good?
I mean, I really like to get back to playing tennis and have my knee pain or my shoulder pain go away, but I just really don't think that's going to happen. I don't know. It's been 2 months and nothing's gotten better yet, so I don't know why it wouldn't now.
Okay. Well, for what I think there's plenty of people that I've treated with shoulder pain, like it's very similar to yours due to accidents like that. And some of the stuff that we're going to do, like it had good outcomes for them. So I think we can, you're young still, so your body will heal quickly with like some treatments and exercises for it. So all these will like really help you, I think, in that aspect. So no need to worry. We'll get you back to where you need to go so you can play tennis and like hang out with your friends and do some fun stuff because high school's a fun time, right?
Yeah, I sure hope so.
Right. So, all right. Is there any other questions or concerns that you have for this?
I guess not really. I just don't see it being able to work. I really hope it does, but I don't know.
Well, no need to worry. We'll do our best and give you the best treatment possible.
Okay.
Does that sound all right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, sounds good.
Good. So I think the biggest thing is his concern was like the time frame of things, with being late with the appointment, and just kind of being discouraged about all the things that he couldn't participate in anymore. And I think he did a really good job addressing those, especially for the time frame part of it. I think apologizing for why you were late, and maybe giving not obviously too detailed of an explanation of why you were late, but giving at least a little bit of information to him to explain why you were. I think made him feel a little more understanding and kind of calmed him down a little bit. And then also offering him a doctor's note, so if he wasn't able to get back to his test today, that he would have another option to take it another day to relieve some stress. I think those are all really good things because doing that initially, you kind of relaxed him and allowed him to like take a breath and make sure you could get the information that you wanted out of him, and he wasn't just trying to rush through things and disappointment, ended up being for nothing because you guys couldn't get anything accomplished. I think he did a good job addressing that and made it worthwhile. And then also relating to him with what's going on in his life with his activities and tennis and things like that, and then what's going on in yours. Again, not getting too off topic, but at least being somewhat personable, and showing him that everybody has struggle, everybody has things going on. Like there are tough times and there's good times. Like there's hills in life. So just to get over the hill, that's what you're here to help him do. There's a light at the end of the tunnel, things like that. Like that's what the words you use, were all really good things, just to try and put more of a positive light on things. But yeah, for the most part, it was really good. He didn't seem too sure that physical therapy would work, and I think you reassured him a few times. And the only thing I would say maybe is ask, like what about physical therapy, like if he's ever done it before or anything like that. But you did a really, really good job like reassuring him, like I've treated plenty of people with shoulder pain and you're young and you'll be able to heal. I think you definitely kind of turned his attitude around towards physical therapy, but also just in general, like what everything else is going on in his life. So overall, you did a really good job.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, hi Mrs. Meyer, how are you doing today?
I'm doing all right.
Good. Well, my name is Brad. I'll be your student physical therapist today, okay?
All right.
Basically, what we're here to do is just learn a little bit more about you. It's our first time seeing you. So we're going to learn a little bit more about you today, just some basics, and then hopefully get you on a program of some sort just to help you start feeling a little bit better.
Okay.
Okay. So first off, what are you here for today? Can you explain to me what you're feeling?
Well, I'm getting up there in age, so it's getting kind of harder to do things. I just feel kind of really drained and like just get tired really easy. Just doing like daily tasks, like doing the laundry is just getting really hard to do.
Okay, I understand. Now, when you say laundry, do you spend most of your days at home? Are you retired?
I am retired. I am a retired factory worker for 50 years.
Oh,
and
wow, congratulations.
Yeah, 50 years, a long time, but working on that factory, it really kills the feet after a while because you're just on your feet all day, putting stuff in boxes, day after day, for 10 hours each day. It's so hard. So glad I'm done with that. But yeah, I think that just killed my knees and feet. Like, they just hurt all the time.
I got you. Okay. So, I mean, from what I'm understanding is it sounds like you're a little bit weaker than what you used to be and you can't do the things you like to do. But do you attribute, do you have any pain in like joints and do you attribute that with your job in the factory, anything like that?
Oh yeah, like my knees for sure. Like my knees hurt all the time. Sometimes my hips a little bit too.
Okay.
Just like anything from like the hip down, it just hurts all the time.
Okay.
Mm.
No, I understand. And I mean, working a factory job for 50 years, I could definitely see, those things being a problem.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good to know. But then, knowing now that you're retired, you probably spend a good amount of your time at home,
Mm-hmm.
or just doing things that you enjoy. What are some things at home that you have a hard time doing now because of, your weakness or because of your pain?
Mm-hmm. Well, getting in and out of bed, it's kind of getting really hard. Same with my couch too, because let me tell you about my bed. It's the most comfiest thing in the world. It's like sleeping on a cloud. My husband did a great job in picking that thing out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, super comfortable. Has blue sheets, beautiful blue sheets, deep blue, and then the walls too. It's because our bed is right in the corner of our room, and then it's beautiful walls. My husband painted those for me too. We have an accent wall of maroon. It's so beautiful. I love it. And then our couch in the living room downstairs, that thing's super comfy too. That's gray because gotta keep the color scheme going. So we have gray walls all over and gray furniture. But yeah, so that thing's really nice. But it's super soft, and I sometimes just sit in it and I can't get out. So my husband has pull me out of that sometimes. So yeah.
That's kind of funny. Is there? I mean, I learned a lot about your home, so that's great. I'm glad you can, share those things with me.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for today, we're going to see you a few times. Today won't be the only session, but for today, we're going to probably stick more with the basics, and then later on in sessions, maybe we can get into more specifics of your home and different things like activities that you do to progress your program. But I think our best interest today is just learning the basics and giving you a good foundation for a place to start. Okay. Okay, cool. So I learned a little bit more about your home. What about activities? I mean, you're retired, so what do you do to keep yourself busy?
Well, just keep myself busy, do lots of housework, cooking, cleaning, all that, fun stuff. But, those stairs, going up and down those stairs is just getting really hard to do because, I don't know what the contractor of our house is thinking. Because you go up the stairs, and then it takes, this really weird, 45-degree turn to go up there. Does that make sense to you? It doesn't make sense to me. So it's really hard when you're carrying a laundry full of laundry basket full of laundry and going up that curve. It's so ridiculous. And then at the top we have shade carpeting, and my feet sometimes trip on that thing. But the shade carpeting is beautiful though, so comfy, so nice on the feet. But it's blue too, because we have a blue gray theme going on. But yeah, so that stairs is just ridiculous stairs. Mm-hmm. But yeah, just going up and down stairs is getting kind of hard, and I just slow down at things.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm hearing you say is that it is hard to get up those stairs. The shade carpet itself can actually be kind of an obstacle sometimes. Sometimes you catch your foot on it.
Yeah.
And then, when you carry your laundry basket up, how many stairs do you think you have?
Between 10, 12, something like that.
So that could be a pretty good challenge, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, with carrying the basket and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I understand. So that's great. I feel like I've learned a lot more about you, about what you do at home, about your house in general. Is there anything else that you feel is important that you want to share with me?
Yeah, I kind of get out of breath too when I'm walking.
Okay.
We have a dog, so I try to walk him, but it's hard to walk him.
Mm-hmm.
So my husband does that most of the time. But yeah, I get really out of breath sometimes, and my knees just kill. Everything's just falling apart. I'm just going downhill. Old age is catching up. I think my time's really soon. I think I'm just gonna go away one of these days. There's just no hope.
Mm.
I don't know what to do.
So as a physical therapist, I respectfully disagree with you. I think, you being here is actually a really, really good thing for you and your health. I know that as you get older, it is tougher to do these things, but basically our goal is to kind of preserve your physical fitness and basically your ability to do what you enjoy. Have you ever been to a physical therapist before?
No.
Okay.
My sister, though, she went to a physical therapist. She loved that guy. So good. Such a great guy.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Good. And so, I mean, from what I can tell, and just in my experience, I've had patients come to me before who've never seen a physical therapist and really don't know what to expect, or what to really, what they don't know what they're going to get from it. And I think that makes patients nervous. They don't really know what's waiting for them. Are you nervous to be here today? And it's okay if you are.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could kind of tell.
Mm-hmm.
I think with some of my questions and me asking you different things, you're telling me about your walls and all those things, which is great. And like I said, with the further sessions, we can get into more specific depth and detail on those.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think what happens is when people get nervous, They like to just talk and, you know, just give us a lot of information that to us initially is not the most vital information. But I'm glad that you're expressing to me that you are nervous to be here. I think actually as a physical therapist, that makes me better or a better care provider for you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good thing. But lastly, I don't want you to be nervous to be here. You can be comfortable around me. I've treated plenty of patients similar to you who are getting older and are a little bit, discouraged by their lack of ability to continue doing what they like to do.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. That does kind of put me at ease a little bit, yeah.
Good. Okay. Well, that's what I like to hear. So now I feel like I've learned a good amount about you, like I said, about your home and the different activities that you do. So what I'd like to do for the next part of the session is we're just going to learn a little bit about some exercises that you could possibly do to help you gain some strength, gain some endurance, to do the things that you need to do around the house, to do things for yourself, things like that. Okay.
Okay.
So in your upper body and lower body, I mean, you said climbing stairs can be difficult. So to me, that means that your legs could use a little bit more work for endurance and strength, and maybe carrying that laundry basket too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you probably get tired in your arms as well.
Yeah.
So that's good to know, especially for me, because then we can prescribe exercises for your legs and your arms.
Awesome.
So some different things that you could do just at home. What's funny is even though that carrying laundry up and down the stairs is something that's tough for you, that could actually be a home exercise for you.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah, definitely. So you don't need any fancy gym membership or anything like that. I don't think that's necessary for what we're doing here. But if you ever have the laundry basket, maybe just lifting it a little bit higher and holding it there for a little bit, and then relaxing and letting your arms down so it's not as tough to hold the basket, or setting it down on the ground or a table. Doing that a few times, maybe 10 to 15 times a day. You might get tired at first, and it's okay if you have to stop in between and before you complete your 10 or 15. But as we go on, hopefully the goal is that your strength would build up and you would be able to hold on to that laundry basket longer and not feel so tired when you get to the top of the stairs, okay?
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And then another thing, looking at your legs, possibly, get rid of the laundry basket and maybe just take some frequent trips up and down the stairs during the day. Just like the arms, if it's too tiring at first, that's completely understandable. We're not expecting you to jump right into things, but take a break if you need the break. But you can make extra trips up and down the stairs without the laundry basket. And I think what the goal is there is that it'll help condition your legs a little bit more to do the stairs eventually with a laundry basket and not feel so tired at the end.
That'd be great. Yeah,
Okay.
I think that may help, yeah.
Good. That's what I like to hear. So once again, I hope this was helpful. I learned a lot about you, and I hope you learned a little bit about what you can do to counteract, this fatigue. So hopefully, in the future we can keep working together. Like I said, we have future sessions, and we can learn more about you and give you some more exercises and different things. But I think for today it was a pretty good session. I hope you feel the same way.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, cool. I think that was really good. Clearly, Mrs. Meyer liked to talk about her home and a lot of different things that maybe wasn't quite pertinent to the session. And I think you did a really good job of listening and not interrupting her and making her feel unheard. Mm-hmm. So I think doing that, like listening to her, actually made her feel welcomed and that you actually cared. But I think you did a really good job of segueing into different things, summarizing the things that were important to you, and reminding her that that's really all we needed for today, and that we'll continue on at later sessions to do that. And I like how you addressed her and what she was feeling, being that she was nervous and this was her first time, and what she sort of expected through PT. I think that's a good starting point to have with any patient. Did you feel like he was being pushy or anything like that?
No, I thought I did a good job. I just like to talk.
Yeah, and that was good. Good morning, Mr. Rehrauer. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. My name is Brett. I'll be your student physical therapist today. And I'd like to start out by asking you what brings you in today.
I have a lot of knee pain.
Okay.
And I've had it for a really long time. And it's been a couple of years, I think now for sure. And at the beginning, it wasn't bad. I mean, it was very tolerable, and with what I do, with my activity and my job, it wasn't a problem. And now, progressively, it's gotten worse. And now now it's to the point where it's definitely a problem and it's limiting me in what I can do. And so I figured it was probably time to see somebody.
Okay, and this is the first time you've ever sought out any help for your knee pain?
Yeah, I haven't seen anybody else, so this will be the first time.
Okay, just because it's gotten progressively worse than you thought it was time.
Yeah, I think, like I said, it was dull to begin with. I didn't feel like I needed to see anybody. When it started progressing, I was taking pain medications, just ibuprofen,
Okay.
just to counteract the pain.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like I said, it's gotten to the point now where even the pain medication really isn't doing a whole lot for me. And so this is my first visit with anybody about it.
Okay. And is your pain in both of your knees?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one over the other, are they about the same?
I mean, if I had to pick one, probably the right, but for the most part, I'd say it's prevalent in both.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Okay. And if you had to rate the pain on a 0 to 10, 0 being no pain at all, 10 being the worst, how would you rate it?
So like I said, I don't know if I mentioned I work a desk job.
Yep.
So when I'm there and I'm sitting, I'm not on my feet. So really, it's dull. It's very bearable. If I had to put a number on it, it'd probably be a 3 out of 10.
Okay.
But I mean, after a long day and being tired from work, and then having to get up and walk home or walk to my car and then go home, it kind of spikes it up being on my feet. And so if I had to rate it at that point, it would. I mean, what's worse is probably an 8 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
I mean, it becomes more sharp shooting and excruciating.
Okay, versus the dull pain when you're sitting at work.
Yeah, definitely.
Gotcha. So when you are sitting at work, it sounds like it's pretty bearable. That doesn't really limit you from doing your work. Are there any activities that your knee pain does limit you from doing?
Yeah. I mean, if I'm just talking about things like around the house, sometimes it's hard to go up the stairs.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I have to sit down on the stair and just take a break.
Okay.
Because it gets that bad. But for the most part, when I go home, I usually try and relax and just not do as much because that knee pain is limiting me.
Okay.
So I'll go home and sit in my recliner, watch TV. I play video games,
Mm-hmm.
so I'll do that. Just to try and get off of my feet and lower the pain. Like I said, it's almost controlling my life to where I feel like I have to do that because it's to the point where if I do something, it's unbearable.
Right, I can understand that for sure, that you want to get back to doing things pain-free. Everyone does. Are there any activities you did before this pain was intolerable that you would like to get back to?
Not really that I could think of. I mean, for the most part, working my job, like I said, as a desk job, at the end of the day, it's a long day,
Mm-hmm.
and so I usually just like to go home and just kind of relax for the rest of the day.
Okay.
I'll go home, make myself dinner,
Mm-hmm.
and then usually, like I said, sit down, watch TV, or play some video games. And that was before it got unbearable too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not limiting, in different activities as much because, like I said, I always went home and I would, relax to begin with. But for just like little things, like I said, getting up the stairs,
Right.
Or if I'm just doing a lot of walking,
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the biggest limiting thing.
Okay. And what do you sort of expect results to be? What are your goals for physical therapy?
From here, I mean, I think the biggest one is to reduce the knee pain.
Okay.
I would just like to not have to be as limited by it.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to get done with my work day and be able, to walk to my car and not have to sit in my car for a little bit while my knee pain goes down.
Okay.
Just to live more of a normal life, and not be so controlled by the pain. Is the biggest goal by far.
Okay. So what it sounds like you're saying is your biggest goal is clearly the pain, so you can do your things that you normally like to do, not without the pain, and obviously probably be off medication as well.
Yeah, that would be another one too. Like I said, the medication really doesn't do a whole lot for me
Mm-hmm.
anymore. So I don't really see the point in taking it. And I've heard things like, taking a lot of medication can be harmful in itself.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that would definitely be a goal as well.
Okay. So you did mention that you've had this knee pain for quite a few years. When you were younger or recently at all, have you ever had any traumatic injury to any knee, or has it just sort of been this insidious onset?
Yeah, I don't think I don't associate it with anything.
Okay.
I mean, I played sports back when I was younger, and I never had like an actual knee injury or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it really started then either. I'm 46, and so
Okay.
I mean, if I had to say how many years ago it started, it's probably 5 years.
Okay, wow.
So it's been going for a while, but like I said, never because of like an actual event.
Mhm.
It just has slowly progressed from that time.
Okay, so there's nothing you could really pinpoint that could be causing the knee pain, anything like that? Not that you know of?
That I know of, no.
Okay. Well, from the exam, that I've noticed is one cause that I think might be, and I've seen in a lot of my patients who have knee pain, is an excessive amount of weight that's placed through the joints can cause some knee pain and things like that. Do you think that's a potential cause?
I mean, you're saying with like the activity that I do? I mean,
Not necessarily the activity, just weight in general.
okay.
Do you think that plays a role in your knee pain?
I don't really think my weight's a problem. To
Okay.
be honest, I've never really thought that. No. I
No?
don't think it is.
Well, what do you think about starting any type of exercise program? It might sound counterintuitive because we would be doing activities that might cause you pain rather than sitting. But what I think we could do is some strengthening exercises, some endurance for your muscles and everything around that, and possibly some cardio work, so walking, general things like that. I think those type of activities, although they may cause you pain in the short term, over the long term they can prove a benefit. And in the meantime, you might experience weight loss. Does that sound like something you'd be interested in trying?
I mean, if it's a program that is going to provide me with some relief from pain, I mean, I'm very willing to try, whatever you have for me to relieve that pain. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good. So then what I'd like to do is do exercises in here. I can show you a few things we can do, and then I can also write you out a program. After we'd be through this, or in the meantime as well, have you ever, or would you be interested in doing any exercise program through a gym, personal trainer, any type of that sort? Or do you think it's necessary?
Like I said, after my long days at work, usually all I'm focused on is just coming home and relaxing. It is a long day, and so, if I had to say my motivation to actually go to a gym, like you're saying, it's probably not very high.
Okay.
And my biggest thing would be is I just don't think, maybe I would say now, yeah, I could do that, but I don't really personally think that I would actually follow through with that. I don't think I would do that.
So the time is a little bit of a restraint as well as possibly motivation, just at the long, exhausted day.
I think that's probably the biggest thing.
Okay, I can understand that, and I think we can work with that too. And I think we could be able to accomplish the reduced knee pain, your primary goal here with physical therapy. Are you willing to participate?
Yeah, like I said, I mean, if it's going to help me with my knee pain, I'm very open to ideas.
Yeah.
Especially here in the clinic. That's what I'm here for. I'd like to do what I can to help it. So.
Cool. And like I said, I've worked with plenty of patients with knee pain, and strengthening exercises, everything similar. We're not going to give you a cookie cutter program. We're going to work with you, give you everything you need, and make adjustments along the way. And I think we can really reduce your knee pain.
Okay. Cool.
All right, you did an awesome job working with the patient here. You asked some good open-ended questions. You kind of let him kind of drive, you drove where the conversation was going, but you listened well to what he had to say and his feedback that he gave you. You also took and listened well to what he said and summarized his feedback, and you addressed his weight issue, which is good, but you took into consideration how he felt about the condition. And so you handled that well by saying it just might be a side effect, but that wouldn't be the main goal that you're trying to go for.
Mm-hmm.
So you expressed that well to the patient and how that would be a good program for him. And then did you feel he handled it well for your situation?
Yeah, I think it was very good. I think he took the focus off of what I was maybe a little bit more preserved about or self-conscious about.
Yeah, you took his concerns into consideration. You addressed the main issue that he was looking for. So I thought it was a very nice job.
Cool. Thank you very much.